The United States ranks third in global population, meaning a lot of people reside in this vast country, which is also the third largest in the world. However, here's a surprising fact: nearly half of the U.S., 47% to be exact, is almost entirely uninhabited. We're not talking about sparse settlements; these areas are practically empty. While the average American lives among approximately 100 neighbors per square mile, in these deserted regions, that number drops to single digits, making a New York City subway car seem crowded by comparison. But why is this? Why do these areas seem immune to the typical American dream of manicured lawns and white picket fences? Let's explore the intriguing reasons behind this great American emptiness. Number 9. Maine. Maine is a land of stark contrasts. On one hand, it features stunning natural beauty with a rugged coastline spanning over 5,000 miles and 90% forest coverage, the highest of any U.S. state, including 12 million acres in its sparsely populated northern regions. This attracts tourists and nature enthusiasts eager to experience its scenic wonders. On the other hand, Maine has one of the smallest populations in the country. Although the population has seen a slight increase from 1.36 million in 2020 to 1.39 million in 2023, this growth is modest compared to the national average. The state is also experiencing a demographic shift towards an older population. Currently, 26% of its residents are under 19, but this is expected to drop to 21% by 2030. This trend indicates that fewer young people are starting families in Maine, which could pose challenges for the state's labor force and healthcare services in the future. Furthermore, Maine's population is predominantly non-Hispanic white, which may deter some potential residents seeking a more diverse cultural environment. The cost of living in Maine can also be prohibitive. While the median household income is around the national average, housing costs are high, with the median home value exceeding $368,000. This can be a significant obstacle, especially for young families or those just starting their careers. Additionally, Maine's appeal as a haven for nature lovers comes with the trade-off of rural isolation. Many communities are spread out, lacking the close-knit feel of urban neighborhoods and easy access to amenities and services found in cities. Number 8. Kansas. Kansas is characterized by its vast fields, making it ideal for extensive wheat cultivation each year. However, with only about 35 residents per square mile, it has a relatively low population density. The expansive farmland necessitates plenty of space. While some people appreciate the tranquility of the countryside, with its starry nights and open skies, younger generations often prefer the dynamic environment and diverse job opportunities found in large cities. This preference contributes to Kansas's lower appeal among many. Kansas City and Topeka are exceptions, offering a more urban experience and higher population density. Historically, Kansas relied on seasonal farm workers to assist with harvests, but advancements in farming technology and automation have reduced the need for such labor. Additionally, the state's climate, featuring hot summers and cold winters, along with the rural lifestyle, may not attract everyone. A distinctive aspect of Kansas is that most of its land is privately owned rather than government-owned. This influences the state's development, which is predominantly agricultural, unlike states with large federal land areas. This unique pattern of land ownership significantly shapes Kansas's character. Number 7. Nevada. Nevada is a land of contrasts, the bustling, neon-lit Las Vegas and the vast, empty deserts that make up the rest of the state. This is because most of Nevada's 3.18 million residents cluster in Las Vegas, leaving much of the state sparsely populated. Think of it like a giant pizza with all the toppings concentrated in the center, Las Vegas, while the crust, the rest of the state, remains wide and bare. About 83% of Nevada is dry and rugged, making it challenging to establish towns and farms. The terrain is like rough gravel, not ideal for settling down. Rainfall is scarce and quickly evaporates under the hot sun, posing a challenge for traditional agriculture that relies on consistent moisture. Additionally, nearly 86% of Nevada's land is owned by the federal government, which means the government controls its use, often preserving it in its natural state like an extensive national park. This is excellent for conserving natural habitats for Joshua trees and bighorn sheep but restricts the areas available for building homes and businesses. It's like if most of your backyard were part of a national park, you'd have little space for personal development. Despite its emptiness, Nevada offers much to explore. The state boasts incredible scenery perfect for hiking and camping, with towering mountain ranges, deep canyons, and ancient ghost towns that intrigue history enthusiasts. There is evidence of Native American tribes who lived here for thousands of years, along with remnants of the silver mining boom that once made Nevada famous. And, of course, there's the vibrant allure of Las Vegas. Number 6, Nebraska. Nebraska's expansive cornfields and breathtaking sunsets sound idyllic, don't they? Yet, Nebraska isn't exactly brimming with people. Why is that? The answer is multifaceted. Let's delve into it. Nebraska excels in agriculture. They dominate in corn and cattle, sustaining the nation like few others can. Modern farming is all about efficiency, as we've already covered. Then there are Nebraska's vast open spaces, which offer fresh air, endless starlit skies, and a tight-knit community vibe, truly awesome. However, this rural charm can be a double-edged sword. Big city amenities like museums, upscale restaurants, and abundant job opportunities are scarce. For young people seeking excitement, Nebraska might feel a bit slow. The state's weather is another factor. Summers are scorching, with temperatures often hitting the 90s, while winters regularly bring blizzards. And when you look at the map, Nebraska sits right in the middle of the country, a natural stop for westward journeys. But historically, many settlers preferred places with more dramatic landscapes or milder climates, like the Rocky Mountains or Oregon's lush forests, over Nebraska's vast plains. This historical trend still influences the state's population today. Currently, Nebraska spans 77,420 square miles and has a population of around 1.96 million, making it the seventh least densely populated state in the U.S. Number 5, Idaho. Hold on a minute. You might think Idaho is an empty wasteland based on the title, but that's not quite accurate. Sure, Idaho's population density is only 22 people per square mile compared to New Jersey's whopping 1,263, making it seem sparsely populated. But here's the thing, Idaho has a lot of charm. With its stunning mountains, incredibly fresh air, and crystal clear water, it's becoming quite appealing. Plus, the state's politics are a welcome change for many. So why isn't Idaho already bursting at the seams? Unlike Montana or Wyoming, Idaho wasn't a major hotspot during the Wild West era. Back then, most settlers passed right through, drawn by California's gold rush. This historical oversight left Idaho with a smaller initial population compared to its neighbors. Additionally, the rugged terrain makes building infrastructure like roads, houses, and even getting decent internet a real challenge. So, with nearly 2 million residents, Idaho is far from a ghost town, but it's true the population isn't very dense. Currently, it ranks 38th among all states in terms of population. Number 4, North Dakota. Ever crank up the air conditioning so high that your living room feels like the Arctic tundra? Now, imagine living in that kind of climate year-round. Welcome to North Dakota, a state where the population density is about as sparse as the crowd at a Nickelback concert. No offense, Nickelback fans. With only 11.1 people per square mile, North Dakota isn't exactly famous for its warm breezes and sandy beaches. Instead, it endures bone-chilling winters that last for months, with temperatures frequently plunging well below zero. This harsh climate makes everyday life challenging, restricts outdoor activities for a significant part of the year, and even affects agriculture, a crucial industry in the state. Speaking of jobs, North Dakota's economy heavily depends on agriculture and energy production, particularly oil extraction. While these sectors are vital, they don't require a large workforce. Imagine a vast wheat field. It might feed an entire city, but it doesn't need a city's worth of people to cultivate it. The state's population growth has also been inconsistent. Booms, such as those driven by the oil industry, have temporarily swelled the population, but once the oil is gone, so are the people, often leaving behind ghost towns. This boom-and-bust cycle creates instability and discourages long-term settlement. Now, some might argue that South Dakota has similar traits, so why single out its northern neighbor? The difference is, South Dakota offers some distinct advantages. It boasts the Badlands National Park, has a slightly warmer climate, more varied terrain, a higher population, and is generally less conservative. Number 3, Montana. Ever scrolled through social media and come across those breathtaking photos of turquoise lakes mirroring snow-capped peaks beneath an endless sky? Welcome to Montana, known as Big Sky Country. But before you pack your bags and head to the nearest horse ranch, there's a reason those photos often show pristine, uncrowded landscapes. Despite its stunning beauty, Montana's population density is incredibly low, making social distancing a natural way of life. With just 7.5 people per square mile, Montana is the fourth largest state but has only the eighth fewest residents. Why is that? Montana's history provides some clues. Unlike its gold rush neighbors, Montana didn't promise the instant wealth that drew prospectors westward. Many pioneers saw Montana as a waypoint en route to more promising destinations. Even within the state, the eastern plains, essential for agriculture, lack the dramatic scenery that attracts today's tourists, contributing to the state's slow population growth. There's no denying Montana's allure, with its vast opportunities for hiking, fishing, skiing, and virtually any outdoor activity you can imagine. However, major cities are few and far between, and access to hospitals or specialists can be hours away. Winters, in particular, can be brutally cold and unforgiving, yet, Montana isn't just about wide open spaces and harsh winters. It boasts a small but thriving population of people who wouldn't trade their Montana life for anything. In recent years, there's been a slight uptick in population, partly due to the rise of remote work. Still, Montana appeals to a specific kind of person, someone who yearns for vast open spaces, a slower pace, and a deep connection with nature. Number 2, Wyoming. Clocking in as the second least populated state with just 6.2 people per square mile, Wyoming wears its sparse population as a badge of honor. So, what deters people from settling in this beautiful state? It's not a lack of stunning scenery. Wyoming boasts majestic mountains, geothermal wonders such as Yellowstone, and expansive plains that create a breathtaking landscape. However, its history is marked by harsh conditions. Early settlers faced brutal winters, relentless winds, and unforgiving terrain. Despite modern amenities easing these hardships, a perception of harshness endures. Additionally, Wyoming's vast size matters. Covering 97,813 square miles, it ranks as the 10th largest state in the U.S., but much of this land isn't ideal for large cities. Despite this, Wyoming's economy thrives, bolstered by natural resources like coal and oil. Tourism also significantly contributes, with Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks drawing millions of visitors each year. Number 1, Alaska. Have you ever had such a strong craving for a slice of pizza that you've entertained the thought of ordering delivery from a neighboring state? Well, believe it or not, in Alaska, that might not be as outlandish as it sounds. With a population density of just 1.2 people per square mile, it's almost like having the same number of people lounging on your couch. Alaska holds the title, or should we say, salmon, for being the least populated state in the U.S. But why is that? Despite being more than twice the size of the second largest state, Texas, Alaska's population hovers around a modest 733,000. The key factor here is isolation. Unlike most states, Alaska is situated far up north, separated from the lower 48 by a considerable expanse of Canada. Just reaching Alaska is an adventure in itself, and the logistical challenge of shipping groceries adds another layer of complexity. This remoteness inevitably translates to higher costs for everything, from heating your home, something you definitely need, to everyday necessities. Additionally, Alaska's economy plays a significant role. While industries like oil and fishing offer lucrative opportunities for some, the diversity of available jobs isn't its strong suit. It's not to say that Alaska doesn't attract adventurers with its pristine beauty and the allure of being at the edge of the world. However, this untamed wilderness also comes with the harsh reality of extreme weather conditions and limited daylight hours, which demand a certain level of resilience. Not everyone finds joy in battling blizzards or sharing their habitat with caribou. If you enjoyed the content, we'd appreciate your support through subscribing and sharing, enabling us to continue producing similar content in the future. Until next time.